Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a great day so far. I know it's kind of early, but you know what? Sometimes we get up out of the bed on the wrong side of the bed. Sometimes we get off on the wrong foot. So I've got a little something to help you, to put you in the right perspective, put you in the right mood to have the best day possible. That's what I love to do, is start your day off with an inspiring quote. This one comes from Wallace Stevens, and this one is kind of a catch-22. Ready for this? Perhaps the truth depends on a walk around the lake. You know, when I first read this, I thought, whoa, it's kind of so true if it comes to your own personal truth, how you see the world, the perspective that you have, and whatever situation that you're dealing with. Yeah. You might be slanted toward thinking about it one way, but you're not seeing the other side of the matter. So it takes a little time to relax, takes a little time to think about it, to figure out, hey, there's more to this than what I'm thinking right now. And isn't that what we always need to remember? That, yeah, a circumstance might look one way to us, but it looks a completely different way to somebody else. And if we can see from that perspective, well, then we're well-rounded. We can figure out how to deal with the situation. And so it brought up a couple of ideas. The whole thing about your personal truth, but here's a scripture that really popped up in my mind when it comes to how we deal with truth and how we deal with what we think is right for us. And here it is, Proverbs 14:12. It says, "There's a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death." What that tells me is, sure, I could try to wrap my head around it all day long. And I can think that I have a great grasp on it and I know how to handle the situation. But here is the absolute truth, not personal truth, absolute truth. There is one person who knows authentically, through and through, how to handle that situation. And he sees it from the best perspective imaginable. And that's our Heavenly Father. So we need to bring it to him in prayer. And we need his advice on how to work that thing out. And you know what? Sometimes he'll give us the right way to handle that situation. And other times, he'll do a little work behind the scenes and fix it before we can even address it. It's just amazing to me how we always have a helper with us. We always have somebody who's on our side, who's working things out for our good. So I just wanted to encourage you today. Maybe you're in the middle of a really tough spot, having to make a huge decision, but maybe you forgot to bring it to God in prayer and to ask him specifically to help you with that situation. That's the one thing he loves, is when we're so specific about our wants, our needs, our desires, what we need him to do in our lives. I've heard it put this way. If you come to God with a sippy cup, sure, he'll fill it. But if you come to God with a swimming pool, guess what? He'll fill that too. So be very specific about what you're asking him for, and then watch him, and you'll be quick to give him the glory for it. So remember that today, and make today the best day ever. Well, that isn't until tomorrow. Just want to give a big shout out to our friends listening right now on the stream. I see you, Joel Modest, down in Palm Coast, Florida. Thanks for hanging out, sir. Plus, we got some listeners over in Reno County, Kansas. And we can't forget our friends over in Helsinki, Finland. Thanks for hanging out and making us part of your day. It really means a lot. Here's Rachel Lampa with Somebody to You, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. So I used to work in television news, and I can tell you that lots of times there's just not enough time to dig into what's going on, what you're seeing on the screen. Usually it's just a brief summary, and then it's on to the next story. But there's one national story you've probably seen recently about that bull in the passenger seat in a car going down the road in Nebraska. It's got huge horns. What's the story behind that? Was he just transporting him to another field, or what's going on? Well, I've got the scoop for you, the behind the scenes of why Howdy Doody, that's the bull's name, was in the passenger seat in the first place. You're going to love it, so stick around. I don't know about you, but I have a soft spot in my heart for livestock. I know that really sounds weird, but it's true. Whenever we go over to my mother-in-law's house, there's this big pasture across the road from where she lives. And whenever we see the cows and the calves out there, I'll slow down. If nobody's coming up, I'll go ahead and roll down the windows, and my daughter and I will start mooing at the cows, and we'll get their attention, and they'll start mooing back. And some of those calves are just so cute. You know, And there are a lot of people who have that soft spot. Well, I understand that hamburgers are delicious. Good steaks are hard to find. And you know what? Yeah, I understand that cows are food, but still, they're animals and there's something real cool about them. Anyway, the reason why I'm saying that is because you've likely seen this picture or piece of video floating around. It's gone nationwide of Howdy Doody. That's this bull's name. He's a African Watusi bull, right? Huge horns. And he's standing or standing, anyway, in the passenger seat of this car that's going down the road. Now, what you don't know is that you see his owners, Rhonda Meyer and Lee, well, they absolutely love this bull. A little backstory, okay? So Lee is 63 years old. He worked 31 years in steel manufacturing before he and his family purchased 15 acres of beautiful Nebraska farmland. Not only do they have Howdy Doody, but they have a longhorn heifer and 6 bison as well. But Howdy Doody is Lee's favorite. They are the best of friends. They go on daily walks together. And yes, this car is specifically to take Howdy Doody around in parades because the people in Neely, Nebraska, where these people live, well, they love Howdy Doody. And he loves them too. A very calm bull. So that's kind of the story behind why you saw this piece of video floating around the nation. It's quite a sight to behold, but in his hometown, he's a little bit of a hero. He's kind of a big deal. I'm just saying. So when they did confront Lee and, Howdy in the passenger seat, they said, hey, we're going to let you off with a warning, but please don't bring him back to the city. You can go back to the country. But we'll just give you a warning. No harm, no foul. So I'm glad it all worked out. But a lot of people have big smiles on their faces because they saw that picture of Howdy Doody riding in the passenger seat. And don't worry, he does have a trailer that he can be transported in, but he prefers to ride shotgun. So now you know, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. All right. More great music headed your way after a few words from our business and ministry impact partners. Okay, so I'm working on a little something right now. I'm about to bring you what's called a supercut from a TV show from yesteryear. And I wonder if you might know what it is if I play the theme song for you as a little bit of a tease. Do you know this? It was a pretty cool show back in the day. TGIF should be a great hint for you as well. Stick around. We're going to hear from one of the best characters on the show. He was always passing along some life lessons. Yes, Mr. Feeney will speak next after Benjamin William Hastings. And that's the thing about praise.
Feeney! Feeney! Ooh, that was a new one.
You ever watch Boy Meets World? That's the Feeney call, by the way. Back in the day, that was such a popular show. So many of us grew up on that, TGIF. And you know what? There were a lot of great things that Mr. Feeney taught us all. Whatever happened to that? Because it seems like today, these TV shows that we watch, well, there aren't a whole lot of moral values brought out, right? There aren't a whole lot of life lessons, but in some of those shows, you could really learn a lot. Well, I thought maybe I would put together a little bit of a Mr. Feeney supercut for you. Some of the best lessons taught by that man, who, by the way, is 96 years old today. And pretty wild stuff. I'll tell you more about the actor behind Mr. Feeney after I share this little supercut with you. So I hope you enjoy it. It's so good and so many life lessons learned along the way. Here, see what you think about this.
Friendship, for example, is a real gift. And it's given with no expectation, and no gratitude is necessary, not between real friends. You see, Mr. Matthews, education is not about obscure facts and little test scores. Education is about the overall effect of years of slow absorption, concepts, philosophies, approaches to problem solving, The whole process is so grand and all-encompassing that it really can't be threatened by the occasional late-night no-hitter. If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experience, despite what others think, then you will learn and grow. The real hero is someone who does the right thing when the right thing isn't the easy thing to do. You don't have to be blood to be family. Sometimes a sure thing is not the best thing. I believe that when you find love, you hold on to it and cherish it, because there is nothing finer, and it may never come again. And that, my dears, is the most important thing that I could teach you. Sometimes the things you complain most about are the things that you care most about. Unfortunately, we don't always know that until it's too late. You see, it's not enough to leave school and just desire to succeed in this cold, cruel world, because then you simply become a part of it. You must also have the desire to change it. Unfortunately, we live in a society where they tell us we have to look a certain way, so we're all under pressure to live up to unrealistic expectations. Believe in yourselves. Dream. Try. Do good. I love you all. Class dismissed.
Wow, that gets me so emotional. Mr. Feeney always knew the right thing to say at the right time, right? Well, believe it or not, that guy, William Daniels, or Bill Daniels, now he is 96 years old. Isn't that crazy? He's still around. He's still doing some stuff, even on TikTok. You can go there and check him out. It's so neat. But I just wanted to play that for you. It hit a certain generation right in the feels. I know it did. So, hey, I hope that inspires you a little bit. A little wisdom from Feeney to make today a little bit better. All right, more great music headed your way after a few words from our business and ministry impact partners. So stick around. Your word of life today comes to you from Romans chapter 10, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. If you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Oh, that's what it's all about. That's what we got to share with people and tell them the story of how we found Jesus, about how we feel now that we belong to him and we're saved. It's a pretty big deal sharing your faith like that. And I know it's kind of daunting, a daunting task to share your faith. Sometimes you clam up a little bit, but you know, one really cool way of doing it is by sharing this word of life and telling them a little bit about what it means to you. We've got it ready for you to do just that across our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Plus, I want to make sure you know that we've got some resources for you over on our website to help you be a little more comfortable, a little more confident sharing your faith. If you go to the Dive In tab on that main menu on our website, you're going to find Soul Winning Tools. That's some things to equip you to help share your faith with other people and make you a little more bold, a little more confident. And we're glad to give that to you. Again, that's at 885jfm.com under that Dive In tab on the main menu. And our socials, of course, 885jfm.com across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. We try to get that word of life to you in photo and video and text form because we know it's so important. Sometimes we forget to read our Bibles, so we got you covered with just a verse or two to think about today. Stuff and relationships, the two things that hang us up more than anything else in this world. Let's talk about stuff for a second. We always want that next best thing. We all want that thing that's so popular right now. Whether it's that pair of shoes, or maybe it's that Stanley tumbler. Maybe it's that certain notebook at school. I don't know what it is for you, but there's something that you want because everybody else has it. And let me tell you something, that never stops. It will always be here, and it'll change from thing to thing as you get older. It's crazy how that works, right? For me in school, everybody had to have a hacky sack. Then everybody had to have a yo-yo. Then everybody had to have this, that, and the other, and it kept moving, right? And then let's talk about relationships. We want to fit into a certain group, so we think we need to act a certain way. So what are we doing when we do that? But we're not really being ourselves, right? I want to share a little wisdom with you from an expert on the topic. His name is Tony Robbins. See what you think about this.
It's not what we get that makes us happy, it's who we become. How we live our life, who we are as a person. People can take away all the things, but who you become, no one can take away. But it isn't so much about change, about changing yourself. The change happens when you be yourself. And the problem is most of us are trying to be something we're not. Because most of us in our lives, out of our desire for respect or achievement or love or connection or something, we've been trying to be the way we think we'd have to be in order to get that love, respect, appreciation, whatever it is we've been after at some unconscious level. And we've been doing it so long that we think that this is who we are. If you want to know what's really you, where you're going to be alive is when it's really you.
You've got to be you. Don't try to fit anybody else's mold. That's just what I've got to say. That's the one thing that'll really hinder us is when we try to change ourselves and be less than we are because it doesn't fit somebody else's mold. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right, it's time to do a little something. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. That's right. Now let's crank that engine. Hey, crank. I said crank. Oh, there we go. And now let's start that music so I can say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the car line competition. It's your chance to win some gift cards this morning. We've got 3 for you. 1 to Wendy's, 1 to Albertville Home Bakery, 1 to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. And it all depends on whether you can answer my question correctly. And here we go. The first question. We're going to talk about some animals right about now. In which region would you not find a crocodile? Is it A, the Philippines, B, Australia, C, Africa, or D, Alaska? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. All right, so in which region would you not find a crocodile? Is it A, the Philippines, B, Australia, C, Africa, or D, Alaska? The number to call, 256-505-0885. I'm waiting on your call right now. There it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Doing fine.
I'm glad to hear it, Richard Udi. Where are you headed to?
I'm getting ready to go to work.
I got you, man. Now, talking about up at the stockyard in Arab?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. All right. Well, I hope you have a safe trip up there. And I've got a question for you. Let's see if we can make this morning a little more fun. So there's this region where you would not find a crocodile. Is it the Philippines, Australia, Africa, or Alaska?
I want to say Alaska.
Well, are you sure you want that to be your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Well, your final answer is correct. Congratulations, sir. You just won. Yep, you won't see an alligator or any type of crocodilian species like a crocodile or any of the other like caiman or gharial. You won't find any of those. There are no lizards in Alaska to speak of. Sea turtles are the only reptiles to habitat naturally there. So, pretty smart guy. Hey, you just won 3 gift cards, Richard. So, you want to tell me about a couple people that mean a lot to you?
Well, my wife's one of them.
All right.
She had my 2 beautiful kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then I guess my dad, because he's been around me. He's been moved in up here near me since July.
Yeah. Helps out a lot, huh?
Yep.
Very
But I would like to pass them on to the next person.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. We can do that, man. Thanks for sharing the love here on the radio, and we'll pass them on.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed day.
All right. You too. Bye.
All right. Bye.
How cool is that? Richard, I hope you have a great day today at work and have a safe trip there and a safe trip home and hug those babies. Oh, give them a little extra love today from us here at the station. All right. Hey, you heard that, right? So instead of 3 gift cards, 6 gift cards, if you can answer this question right here. What's the more common name for the aurora borealis? Is it A, the Big Dipper, B, Orion, C, the Big Bear, or D, the Northern Lights? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885 for the answer to this question. What is the more common name for the aurora borealis? Is it A, Big Dipper, B, Orion, C, Big Bear, or D, Northern Lights? Woo, I've got my caller already. Stay on the phone line with me while I start the song and I'll get your answers. Colton Dixon with My Light. Good morning.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. Who am I talking with?
Wanda Evans.
Wanda Evans. What you up to today?
I'm driving home to get ready for work.
Oh, very cool. All right. And remind us all, Wanda Evans, where you work.
I work for an insurance company out of Birmingham, but I work from my house.
Oh, very cool. Hey, working from home? That is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I got a question for you. This might just make your day a little bit better. I don't know if you heard or not, but instead of 3 gift cards, we got 6 gift cards because Richard rolled his over. So we're going to test just how smart you are, Wanda.
I'll try.
All right. Now, so how long ago was it that you graduated high school?
1993.
Oh, cool. That's not that long ago. Very cool. So I'm sure some of this knowledge is still rattling around up there. What's the more common name for the aurora borealis? Is it the Big Dipper, the Orion's Belt? Is it the Big Bear, or is it the Northern Lights?
The Northern Lights.
That's exactly right. Congratulations, Wanda. You just won 6 gift cards. How does that make you feel?
Awesome.
Very good. All right, so this is the part I love. We give you 3. We want you to, well, actually, we're giving you 6 this time. We want you to keep a couple and give the others away. Can you tell me about 2 people in your life that really mean a lot to you?
Yes, I can. First would be my husband, because he is just the most amazing dad and the most amazing Christian man who walks the walk every single day.
Wow. What's his name?
Kenny Evans.
Very cool. All right, and who's that second person?
Probably my best friend, Christina Hicks, just because she's always there and she tries to put God first in her life.
Yeah. Well, you know, best friends you have a history with. How long have you been knowing her?
Probably about 10 years.
Wow. That is awesome. You've been through a lot together, huh?
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Good friends and great family make for a better life for sure. Make things a lot easier. Wanda, thank you so much for calling. Let me grab your address real quick and I'll get these gift cards sent your way. And hey, could I ask you one more question?
Absolutely.
Why do you listen to us?
Because I have my son in my car every day on the way to school, and your station is the only one that actually brings God first in our car, in our thoughts, and starts our day out right.
Wow. Thank you for those kind words. We're so glad that we're making your day a little bit better.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye. Wanda Evans taking home 6 gift cards. It's so much fun playing this car line competition. You never know who you're going to talk with. And tell you, the biggest takeaway for me is hearing who means a lot to you. I love that. You can share some love right here on the radio. And so, hey, I've got another question here. Got some time to ask it too, so we might as well get to it. All right, so here it is. The question that might just land you 3 gift cards. Which of the following animals sleeps for 19 to 22 hours a day? That's a lot of sleep. Is it A, koala, B, giraffe, C, polar bear, or D, elephant? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, which of the following sleeps for 19 to 22 hours a day? Is it A, koala, B, giraffe, C, polar bear, or D, elephant? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Waiting on your call right now. In the meantime, I will start a song for you, and I will also say that, yes, 1993 wasn't that long ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. However, I did the math, and it's been 30 years ago. 93, 03, 13, 23. Yes, 30 years ago. So to some, it might seem like a really long time. To others, not so much. All right, I've got my caller. I'll see you back here in a minute. Now your word of life. Today from Romans chapter 10, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. If you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. That's such a good scripture. That's what it's all about. Hey, why don't you share that good news with somebody today? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Yeah, we've got it in photo and in video form. We've got it in text form at the top of our website. And you know what? Sometimes sharing your faith can be a daunting task. You want to, but you don't quite know how to start that conversation. I wanted to let you know about a pretty cool resource we have for you on our website. It's at 885jfm.com. And that main menu, if you go to the Dive In tab, you're going to find something called Soul Winning Tools. You click that, and it's going to give you some confidence and things to talk about when you're sharing your faith with somebody to make you a little more bold in doing that. So go check it out, 885jfm.com. All right, more great music headed your way after I get to ask you a question. You see, I had this question just a minute ago about something sleeping for 19 to 22 hours in one day, considering there are only 24 hours in a day. That's a whole lot of sleep, right? Well, I got a wrong answer. They thought it was elephant, but it's not an elephant. So what is it? Which of the following sleeps for 19 to 22 hours a day? Is it A, koala, B, giraffe, or C, polar bear? Call me up, let me know, and win some gift cards. 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Waiting on your call right now. Again, which of the following sleeps for 19 to 22 hours a day? Is it koala, giraffe, or a polar bear? 256-505-0885. Here's Terrian with Big God. Finishing up the car line competition for the morning, I had a final caller to answer that last question, and here it is. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Hey, Stephen, this is Joel Modest from Palm Coast.
Hey, Joel, how are you, man?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, has anybody got an answer to the sleep question yet?
Not yet. I had somebody think it was an elephant, but it wasn't an elephant, so you want to take a stab at it?
Yeah.
All right.
I believe it's a koala.
It is a koala. They sleep an awful lot. Congratulations. You just won some gift cards. Joel, it's always fun talking with you. So why don't you tell me about a couple of people who really mean a lot to you, and then tell us what we're going to do with the gift cards.
Well, I'll tell you about my son who's back at school at UAB down in Birmingham. He's a senior at accounting and finance. So he means a lot to me. And my other daughter, who's a nurse down in Birmingham. And so those are my local kids to your area. And we're going to be up to see him in a few weeks.
Oh, very cool.
My son Carson, he's in the UAB marching band.
Oh, cool.
We come up to see the UAB football games. So those are the ones that mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
But as far as those gift cards go, my heart goes to the local law enforcement folks. So if you could just forward them on to those people, that would be so awesome.
I'd be glad to, Joel. And hey, how did your visit go with other family up north?
Well, hey, it went really good. I got two sons living up north, one in Madison, Wisconsin, and another in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so I went up to visit them in the middle part of August. And what precipitated that was it was my 50th high school reunion. Can you believe that?
Wow.
The last caller, she graduated in 93. Well, I graduated in 73.
Whoa.
So that kind of dates myself, but that's all right.
Yeah, it is.
I'm proud to own it.
That's right. You've seen a lot of stuff happen in your life.
Oh, yeah. And then last week, my other daughter came down. She's my Navy daughter from Virginia. She came down to Orlando, and I flew right from Minneapolis to Orlando, and we went and spent a few days at the Disney parks, which are just totally awesome. I tell you what, they got some super good new coasters at Walt Disney World.
Yeah?
That we went on.
Nice.
I'm a big coaster fan. Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. I love a good coaster, too. It gives you the thrill. Just that click, click, click as you climb all the way up to the top. And then once they let it go, it's like, hands are up and you're having a good time, right?
Oh, exactly. And of course, the new coasters, they have the magnetic drive. So there's a lot of them, they don't even have the chain anymore.
Oh, wow.
They just shoot you off and you just go flying.
Oh.
It's a
cool,
pretty good time.
Well, man, it's always good to hear from you. Thanks so much for calling in, and we'll get these gift cards placed into the hands of some local first responders, and we're going to share some love with some people. Thank you, Joel.
All right. Hey, you keep up the good work, Stephen. Love your show. Love listening to the kids, and love your message every morning. It's positive. I love the motivational, spiritual advice that you've been playing with your clips, and it's just keep up the good work.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Joel. Have a great day, sir.
You have a blessed day, too. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It was so neat. Joel told me he was going to be visiting some family up north, and so he told me what cities he'd be in. And sure enough, when the day came, I looked on my streaming map, and I saw Joel listening to us from those locations. It was so cool. He's been a fan of the show for so long. So glad that he calls in, lets us know what's going on in his life, and I can still look and see that he's listening to us in Palm Coast, Florida. So thank you, Joel, for calling in. Wow, that's a lot of fun. Hey, speaking of fun, you talked about going to the Disney parks, and I know that was a blast. I didn't tell you what I was up to yesterday for Labor Day. We actually went out to Point Mallard in Decatur. Had a good time. It was the last day of the season for them, and to tell you the truth, I got to crack a few of those trivia questions off. There was this kid in the lazy river, and he was talking to me, and I started talking back to him, and somehow we got on these interesting facts, and so I got to lay a little truth on him. It was fun. You should have seen it. I'd pop off one of those really weird trivia, like, did you know that a turtle is the only animal that can breathe through its butt? It completely astounded him. It was hilarious. Anyway, what I'm saying is getting to do this trivia with you every morning really pays off in a lot of ways that you don't even see. Of course, some gift cards here and you sharing some love on the radio. But then with all this knowledge I got rattling around in my head, I can really blow some people's minds out there in the day-to-day stuff. So anyway, just wanted to pass that along to you. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I love hanging out with you. So this whole idea of love when it comes to relationships and romance and when it comes to marriage, it's a lot for our kids to wrap their heads around. And I came across a little video that it really showcases that. And I think it's going to make you chuckle, probably harder than it made me chuckle. It's really good. So stick around. I'll share it with you next. My daughter was listening to this video in the backseat of the truck yesterday on her way to Point Mallard, and it really caught me off guard. She said, hey, y'all want to hear something funny? We said, yeah, play it for us. So she did, and this is what she played. It made a lot of sense to me. Now, hey, I think this line of thinking was pretty cool for this little kid. Now, this is a little skit that's put together over on YouTube, and it's using Roblox characters. And here, see what you think of this.
Dad, I decided I'm getting married.
What? Really? Do you have a girl in mind?
I'm going to marry Grandma.
I think next time I'll pretend I've gone deaf.
She always tells me she loves me. She's really good at cooking, and she's the best storyteller.
That's all great, but there's just a small problem.
What is it?
She's my mother. You can't marry my mother.
Why not? You married mine.
I love that. Why not? You married mine. Grandma's pretty awesome, isn't she? A little reminder for you. I saw this and I thought, oh, it's so good. Here. See what you think of this. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. Whoa. Isn't it so easy to take on all that weight of the stuff that you're dealing with, all the stuff happening around you, and it starts to feel like you're just drowning, right? Don't let it happen. You know what? If there is water in your boat, get a shovel. Start scooping that stuff out. You can't do it on your own. Don't get me wrong. I know that. But you got to ask God, God, would you help me through this? It feels like I'm drowning here. I need your help. Can you get this water off of my boat? Can we keep floating forward? And guess what? He'll do it. It's amazing how he does it. He'll calm your heart and your mind. He'll work the circumstances out, even behind the scenes, the things you can't see. And it's so cool when he does. Let me just tell you this before I let you go back to the music. So on Sunday, I had a little bit of a heart palpitation thing going on. It really freaked me out. I'm sitting here and I feel my heart rate, and it's like I'm a drummer, so the beats per minute, I know about that, right? It's constant tempo. Your heart is pumping. But what I was feeling caused it to stop pumping in that rhythm. And it like skipped a beat. And then it started pumping again. And that really put me in this state of panic. And so I was really worried about it. I'm thinking, oh, it's probably normal. I got on my phone and I checked it out, and it says sometimes heart palpitations are normal, sometimes can be brought on by stress. If it's prolonged or you start feeling dizzy, lightheaded, you start having pain in your chest and things like that, then that's the time to worry. But see, whenever things like that happen to me, it's like my mind hyperfixates on them and makes them worse. So I felt it a few more times. But I decided, hey, I'm going to calm down, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to relax, everything's going to be okay, right? And then when we left church, it's like I wasn't hungry. I had no appetite at all because I was still freaked out about what was happening with my heart just a few minutes ago, right? So as we left, we went over to the Piggly Wiggly to pick up some food to take home and eat. And it was so neat what God did, and I noticed it. And if you keep your eyes and ears open, you'll notice these things in your life too. As we were standing there in line at the deli counter waiting to tell them what we wanted to eat, the song that was playing on the speakers was Lean on Me When You're Not Strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. I took that as a message from God saying, hey, Stephen, don't worry about this. Lean on me. Trust in me. I'm going to get you through this. You're going to be just fine. And that was just a point of comfort for me. I thought, how cool that he spoke to me through that song, standing in the Piggly Wiggly in Gunnersville. It just blew my mind. And I wanted to share it with you because these instances are around us all the time. Sometimes we just don't listen. We just don't make ourselves aware of it. It's like we kind of take things for granted. So anyway, what I want you to do is pay attention to the small stuff today and see what God might be messaging to you. See what he might be telling you through your circumstances, through your surroundings. It's really cool when you find it. Oh, it just touches your heart. Hey, could I just shout some people out real quick? I just noticed this pin drop on my streaming map, and I see you all the way down in São Judas. That is in South America, down in Brazil. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. It's so cool to see these new pins pop up. Hey, I got a story for you coming up here about something found off the Australian coast that might make you scratch your head a little bit. Who knew that fish could actually have hands? I'll tell you more about it coming up after Kane and any more right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Now turn it up. It's a good song. Fishing is so much fun and it's really relaxing. I know a lot of people love fishing here on Lake Gunnersville near the studio. But, you know, there's a little bit of different fishing to be done, say just off the Gulf of Mexico. Deep sea fishing, yeah, who knows what you might land out there, right? It'll take you for a ride. But hey, I wanted to let you know about this little expedition that was taken off of the coast of Tasmania. It's actually in the waters off of Flinders Island in Tasmania. It's out near Australia. So there was an image captured at the depth of 958 feet. Wow, almost 1,000 feet down on the ocean floor. And there's this weird looking fish. And the weird thing about this fish is it kind of looks like it has legs. And it doesn't really swim like other fish. In fact, it uses its hands, that's what they call them. It's modified, pectoral fins, right? And so these are called handfish, and they use their hands to walk along the ocean floor and to hunt. Usually they're hunting worms and things like that. But there are 14 species of these handfish, and this one in particular was last seen way back a while ago. And they thought that it was completely extinct. But nope, they just spotted another one, this smooth handfish. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So now all species of handfish are found around Tasmania and around Australia. So I just wanted to clue you in on what's actually out there. I've often wondered, what would it be like if fish had hands, and these actually have hands? Hey, do yourself a favor and Google this sometime. Just type in smooth handfish Tasmania, and you will see one, and you will scratch your head because it's a weird looking critter. God made some pretty interesting things, didn't he? Some churches do this, and I think it's such a cool idea. It's uniting generations because you have the older crowd at your church, and then you have the youngsters, those kids, even those teenagers, right? And to be able to bring them together and show them they've got something in common, whoa, that's life-changing. It really sets these kids up for a great mentor in their future, right? So I don't know what your church calls them, but at this particular church, they call them prayer buddies. Yeah, that's when Juanita, she's a lot older, definitely the senior in this relationship, was paired up with Brenda. Now this is when Brenda was just in 6th grade, and they have stayed friends ever since. And as Brenda's grown up, she's seen all these changes in Juanita's life. And, you know, things got rough for Juanita. In August, Juanita lost her husband. It was awful, and she took it hard. Well, when Juanita and Brenda met up in September, their first meetup since this happened, Brenda was just asking Juanita, how are things going? How are you handling this? And that's when Juanita broke down in tears. Then they were at a restaurant where they met up. Well, this restaurant has big windows. It just so happens that somebody was passing by outside and saw Juanita break down in tears. And something moved this person to purchase some flowers, a nice bouquet. She brought them into the restaurant and gave them to Juanita. I love what she said. Hi, I'm sorry to intrude. I don't know you, but I was just driving past and saw you crying, so I wanted to buy you these flowers to bring a smile to your face. Juanita broke down all over again, but this time she shed tears of happiness. When Brenda explained Juanita's loss, the woman gave her a warm hug, leaving a permanent impression on both of them. Inspired, Brenda shared this moving encounter on Facebook, and it's how I'm able to bring it to you today. There are great things happening in this world. There are some caring people who are really there to help you, to help comfort you, to let you know everything's going to be okay, and to help put a smile on your face when you're sad. And I'm so thankful for that. This complete stranger made a huge impact in Juanita's life. And so I hope that inspires us all to find a way to touch somebody's life in a positive way, to impact them today in some way. Let's just ask God to give us an opportunity to touch somebody else's life today. Wow. It's amazing. It feels so good to be the hands and feet of Jesus. So look for that opportunity today. So I'm going to ask you a question that I already know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Has your parent mind ever gone into panic mode? Yeah. Lost your kid at the store, lost your kid at the park, lost your kid at the water park. That's a tough spot to be in, right? Hopefully everything went well, you found them and all's good. But there was one mom in the middle of this thing, and she's got quite the story to share with you coming up here on the show. So I want you to stick around. This story hits really close to my heart this morning for two reasons. The first, because we were completely surprised this weekend. Grace, my daughter, she had a volleyball game over in Good Hope on Saturday. We had no idea that my brother and his family were coming to watch her play. Now, they live all the way up in Kentucky. Yeah, he's based at Fort Campbell there. He's in the Army, but we didn't know they were in town. They just showed up, and it was awesome. Now, if you've ever heard me talk about my little brother and his family, you'll know that I mentioned Nova. Now, they've got two children, Stella and Nova. And Nova is the younger, and Nova is autistic. And she is in school now, and she gets the therapy that she needs. And it's just amazing to watch this little girl grow. But she has some tendencies that kind of make her want to get out on that court and play, right? You just never quite know when a child is going to take a notion to run somewhere. All right, so pair that up with going to the water park. We actually went yesterday to Point Mallard. It was an absolute blast. We had a great time. And while we were sitting there watching our daughter jump off the high dive, by the way, she's a little bit of a thrill seeker. From time to time, we'd kind of lose sight of her. Where's she at? And there came a point or two where, you know, your parent mind kind of goes into panic mode. It's like, oh, where's she at? Did somebody take her? What's going on? But luckily, we would see that she was just behind something. We couldn't see her for a second. She popped right back out, and we saw her, and everything was good. Now, I want you to combine the two. A child that has a proclivity to kind of go after whatever they want to go for, they don't quite listen all that well, and then a water park where there's water everywhere, coupled with the fact that he's 3 years old. Things can get kind of rough really quick, and mom can go into panic mode. That is exactly where she found herself. And I'm going to share her story with you next. Please stick around. This is so good. Stephanie says, on Labor Day, I lost my son. I lost my 3-year-old autistic son at the worst place possible, a water park. He went down the slide, ran a few feet ahead of me, turned a corner, and was gone. It was as quick as that. The only thing in front of him was a lazy river with a strong current. Even if he could swim, he wouldn't stand a chance. I dove in and couldn't find him. I ran around and couldn't find him. I started calculating the seconds, the minutes. How long does it take for a toddler to drown? Whatever the answer, I was pretty sure we were past that. Then I found a lifeguard and screamed for help. It was the last day of the summer, the last 10 minutes before the water park closed for the year. I'm sure everyone was mentally off the clock. And yet, they showed up. People ran, whistles blew. A young man with an internal calm stayed with me and said they'd find my boy. In what condition, I wondered. And then, after what felt like forever in mom panic mode, a young girl walked over a bridge carrying him on her hip. He had gone behind a building to play. There's no greater fear than losing a child. I lost mine, and we lived to tell about it. We are the lucky ones. I dress my children in neon when we're out in public. They're always wearing flotation devices, but it was required he take them off to go down the slides. So we followed the rules and did, which is why for those unfortunate few minutes he was unprotected. I wish I could say I was distracted by my phone or talking to a friend, but my eyes never left his body. And yet he's fast, and he was gone. Guilt has kept me awake every night since. The minutes he was missing are a blur to me, but what I do recall is bodies running and swimming and calling after my son. Those who were employed by the water park and those who were bystanders. Mr. Rogers once gave the sage advice to look for the helpers when you're scared, and he was right. We can't do it without our community. Who knows what would have happened to my boy if systems weren't in place and people didn't care. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to save one, too. These babies belong to all of us, and we have to ask for help when we need it and when we think we don't. Whether it's a lost child, an infant who won't sleep, or a teenager who's suicidal, it's too much to handle alone. We have an obligation to look for the helpers. Likely, they're hiding in plain sight, just waiting to rescue us. That's from Stephanie Hanrahan. What a story, right? You ever been in that parent panic mode before? And then everything turned out okay. And it's like, whew. It's like that weight came off your shoulders. You could breathe again. It's a hard place to be, but we're there for each other. We're looking out for one another. That's what we got to do. It's just a good ending to the story I wanted to share with you today. To let you know, hey, you know what? Things work out. Despite what we might think about how terrible this world can be, there's some amazing people in it who make big differences every day. And I know you're one of them. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Got some more great music coming up for you and just an hour left. What are we going to talk about? Stick around. I think you're going to enjoy it. Every now and then you come across something really good, right? Over on social media. And I came across Jade Warshaw. I don't know if you've ever heard of her before. If you've listened to Dave Ramsey, any of his stuff, well, you'll know that she's kind of from his organization. Well, she was just out and about on her morning run, and she had something to say. And I thought it was so good, I had to pass it along to you. So here, take a listen. This is Jade on her morning run.
So every morning on my run, I pass the same guy. He's out walking his dog. Sometimes he's with his young son. Sometimes he's not. But every morning, I say, good morning. Hey, man, what's going on? And every morning, he ignores me. I mean, flat out ignores me. This morning, I guess I passed by his house. He's coming out of his front walk. I'm passing by. We're closer than we've ever been, like 5-6 feet apart. And I say, hey, man, good morning. Doesn't look at me, totally ignores me. Obviously, your boy has a problem with Miss Jade. I don't know why, but he does. But some of y'all are feeling the same way. You're out doing your thing. I'm out doing my run, right? And I want him to acknowledge me. And some of y'all are doing your thing and you want acknowledgement from, I don't know, your parents. You're finally getting your life together and you want them to say something and they're not saying anything. You want to acknowledge at your job because you're working your butt off. Man, you're doing overtime hours. You're doing whatever it takes. They're not acknowledging you. Some of you, you want the government to acknowledge you. Man, you're paying your student loans. You've been paying through the whole pause. You want them to acknowledge you, maybe give you a little forgiveness, but it's not always like that. We have to do what we know is right to do and what we know is good to do simply for our own selves. We may never get the acknowledgement. We may never get somebody to go, hey, great job. I see you. You're doing great. Does that change the fact? Does that change what we know we should be getting up and doing every single morning? No, it does not. Keep doing your thing. You don't need acknowledgement from anybody except God.
Acknowledgement is nice, but I love the way she said it. You don't need it from anybody but God. You keep doing you. Keep doing what you know is right. I love that. So if you've been thinking about, I don't know, teaching, if you've always had that itch, but you've never got to scratch it, you're like, hey, I think I'd do a good job. Or maybe you had kids in the house at one time. You absolutely loved raising them. Now they're out on their own. You've got an empty nest. You're looking for something to do. Well, let me tell you, Arab City Schools has just sweetened the pot. I think you're going to love this story. I found this over at the ArabTribune.com, by the way. Pay for substitute teachers is increasing. Yeah. So a little more incentive on the table if you've ever considered being a substitute teacher in Arab City schools. So approving the salary and supplement schedule, the Arab Board of Education approved an increase for substitute teachers. Subs who have a high school diploma will now earn $80 a day as compared to the previous $60. Those with a college degree will now receive $90 as compared to $65, and those with a college degree certificate will earn $100 compared to $70. They said, we felt that we should be giving our substitutes more pay, and we're fortunate that we were able to work on our budget and come up with some money to up that pay. Yeah, that's from Superintendent Dr. Johnny Berry. It says, hopefully this will help us get more people involved that might want to do that and reward those who have been working for us. So there you go, an opportunity for you to maybe do some substitute teaching. Sound like fun? That's in the Arab City School District. And hey, if you want to find out more, you can find it over at thearabtribune.com. All right, just wanted to pass it along to you. Got to keep you in the know about things happening here in our local community. One thing you learn in this life is there's a whole lot of difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is all around us. You got a smartphone, likely. You've got the world at your fingertips, right? You've got all the facts and the figures you could ever want to know right there, except therein lies the problem. What exactly do I mean? Well, stick around. I'll tell you right after Phil Wickham. This is our God, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. It's so funny. When you're in school, in math class, your teacher introduces you to the calculator and then tells you, no, I'm sorry, you can't use a calculator on tests. It's like, but I wouldn't have known about this if you hadn't told me about it. Now you're going to take it away. And what was their go-to excuse? Oh, you won't have a calculator with you every day out in real life, so you got to know these things. Skip to 2023. Where do we find ourselves? Well, every single smartphone has a calculator on it. You can find a calculator anywhere you need a calculator. So anyway, I think sometimes the teacher really got it right, though, because though you might know how to find the answer, knowing the answer is really where it's at, right? Well, I came across this little comment from a guy, and he points this out so well. I just want to play this clip for you. See what you think about it, and if you can relate. Here.
I'm 29. I'm more confused than I ever have been. We live in a time where you have access to so much information, but the problem is there's so much information that you can find any information that backs up whatever you believe or whatever your claim is, so you're always right. But you don't know if you're actually right. Just think of anything. You can prove it if you want. Like, I'm in the line to get a coffee. I can bet you I can find that coffee causes blindness. I'll Google it right now. Coffee causes blindness. Watch. Oh, looky here. More than 3 cups a day can contribute to glaucoma. Now watch. I'll look up if coffee can contribute to better eyesight. Oh, look, it can prevent against deteriorating eyesight and possible blindness. I mean, which is it? Experts are like, oh, I don't know why anxiety's at an all-time high. Hey, maybe because I can't even sit down and enjoy a cup of Joe without wondering if I'm going to go blind or not.
He ain't wrong. I'm just saying, be careful with all that information out there. It has been an absolute blast hanging out with you all morning long. Hey, let's do this again tomorrow, shall we? But I do want to leave you with one final thought. Now, this was the inspiring quote of the day, and it hits so well. And this is what it says. Perhaps the truth depends on a walk around the lake. You know what? Sometimes our perspective is a little clouded, and it takes us kind of relaxing a little bit, thinking about the situation from all different sides of it. That helps us kind of figure out what to do. But don't stop there. Bring it to God in prayer, because He wants to hear from you. All right? I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10.